Hi, this is Dr. Bitla coming in front of you with a new topic called CNC machines and their components. In this class, before going to the contents of this session, we will see what we have seen in the last session. In the last session, we have seen the introduction part of the DNC system. Then we have seen the block diagram of the DNC system. That means we have discussed the block diagram in detail and what are the functions were discussed. Then we have seen the functions of each components of the DNC system that also we are discussed in the last class. Then we are also seen that the different types of DNC systems in which we are discussed one DNC system is going to work with a mini computer, even though it is having a bulk memory computer. Basically, the basic concept of the DNC is that it is going to work, it is going to connect different uh, NC systems parallelly using a network. All these NC systems which are in that network is going to use a bulk memory computer. So even though in between the bulk memory computer and the individual computers, a mini computer or a satellite computer is introduced between the central computer and the machine control unit. So just to reduce the data transaction between the bulk memory computer as well as the machine, network congestion also reduces. Every time if the machine control unit access the program from the central computer, there is a network congestion. To reduce that data transaction frequency between central computer to the NC machine reduces by introducing a mini computer. So that type of DNC system we are discussed with satellite and without satellite to overcome the problems in without satellite. And we have discussed the functions of DNC, then advantages we have seen, and finally we are compared the difference between NC, CNC, and DNC. So let me move further to discuss what are the contents in this session. In this session, we are going to discuss CNC machines and their components. We have seen what exactly the basic principle of the CNC machine, but we are not discussed the with respect to the components. We are not discussed. We have seen in the last session, in the previous sessions, we have seen only the working principle, basic working principle, how when we are going to call as NC and CNC, we have seen. NC means in that case, we are going to use only the punched card or a tape to feed the program to the machine. Punched card or a tape reader is going to fed into the control unit, machine control unit. In turn, that machine control unit is going to convert the punched card or a tape which is having program on in the coded form, that is going to be converted as a signal in the form of machine readable form, and according to that, those instructions of the signal, this NC machine tool is going to work and act or perform the actual work. Then uh, when it comes to the CNC, punched card and as well as the tape is going to be eliminated, and the program will be written in a computer, dedicated computer. In the case of CNC computer, as we are already discussed that this computer, each NC machine tool is connected to the dedicated computer where all the part programs are stored. Up to that extent we are discussed in CNC, but we are not discussed the components and the machining centers were not discussed. Machining centers and their components were not discussed. So though, I mean, the components we will discuss in this session. We have different components like the attachments or components we will discuss in this. Just to change the tool, we have automatic tool changer, and to store the tools, we have the magazines. Magazines are the devices where all the tools are located. We will see the different types of magazines in this case in this slideshow. After discussing the types of machining, CNC machining center, basically these machining centers, CNC machining centers are classified according to the orientation of the axis, spindle axis. It may be vertical machining center, or it can be horizontal machining center, or it may be the universal machining center. There are three types of machining center. One is VMC, HMC, and UMC. We will see with the diagram, we will discuss briefly in this slideshow. And after discussing the different types of machining center, we will discuss the construction features of CNC machining centers, of course. And after that, we will specify the CNC machining center, how we can specify a machining center. That also we will discuss. Then after that, we will discuss the CNC components and attachments for the CNC machining centers to perform actual work. As I said just now, like automatic tool changer and the tool magazines. Up to that extent, we will discuss. Of course, we have the other attachments like the feedback devices. Then we have the attachments also, other attachments also. Those also we will see. Like driving devices, driving devices, feedback devices. So those also we will discuss. Otherwise, if time permits, in this session itself we will discuss. Otherwise, in the next session we will discuss those driving systems and as well as the feedback systems. Let me move further to discuss the introduction of the CNC machining centers and their component. Basically, CNC machining center is nothing but it should be able to perform. It should be capable of performing the multiple operations on the work part in one setup under the programmable control. That means by using a program, the CNC machining center is going to perform multiple operations on the work part in one setup. In single setup, we should be able to perform multiple operations like the milling, drilling, tapping, grinding, or maybe sometimes welding. All these operations should be performed in one setup. Then we can call it as a machining center. That means the basic concept of the machining center is, I repeat that, we must be able to perform multiple operations in a single setup without disturbing the component, without changing the position of the component. We must be able to perform multiple operations on the component. This is what the definition of the CNC machining center. Then computer and NC programming and their activities like controlling is also called the, CNC must be able to use and act according to the uh, activities received, according to the signal activities received from the machining center. This is also required for the CNC machine. Then in general, there are three types of machining centers. As I said just now in our contents of these slides, we have, according to the orientation of the spindle, it may be vertical, horizontal, or the universal. In according to the orientation of the spindle or according to the displacements or the moment at which the tool can reach, according to that orientation of the tool or the table, these CNC machining centers are classified vertical, horizontal, and the universal with reference to the orientation of the machining spindle. Okay. In terms, we can also call as up to what extent where this spindle can be able to reach, where the tool can be able to reach. For example, you take in the case of drilling machine, the tool is going to reach at a particular location, drilling machining center. So it's having only 1 degree of freedom at a one location, but this drilling tool cannot reach the sides of like that. According to the orientation of the spindle, it may be if the spindle is located in vertical plane or if the spindle is located in horizontal plane. If the spindle can be adjusted at any angle between 0 to 180 or 0 to 360, then that type of CNC machining center is called universal machining center. Basically, this classification and the type of machining center is totally depends on the orientation of the machining spindle. I repeat this. If the spindle is located in the vertical plane, then it is the vertical machining center, VMC. If the spindle is located in horizontal plane, then we can call it as a horizontal machining center. If the spindle is located or we can be able to move the spindle in any of the degrees or in any of the angle between 0 to 360 or 0 to 180, in that case we can call it as a universal machining center. This is the basic classification of the CNC machining center. In the case of, as I said just now, it has a spindle in a vertical axis related to the work table. Work table is in the horizontal plane. With respect to the horizontal plane, in the case of vertical machining center, we should be able to move, or else the spindle of the CNC machine is located in the vertical plane. So as to reach on the work plane. PMC is typically used for flat work that requires tool access from the top, of course. Assume that you are located a workpiece on the horizontal plane. On that plane, work tool, spindle is going to reach to process the work, or to do or to perform the operations on the plane of the workpiece. Then milling center is a type of vertical milling center. Yes, this is an example for the vertical milling center is an example for the vertical machining center. Milling center is an example for the vertical machining center. So that type of machine you can observe here, vertical machining center, you can see. This is exactly the z-axis on which the spindle is oriented, and along the x-axis, x positive and y positive directions, you can move the table. That means a table can move along x-axis, x positive or x negative direction, and as well as the work can also be oriented towards y positive and as well as y negative directions also. But basically the tool is oriented along z-axis in the case of vertical machining centers. This is an example for the milling center in which the tool is oriented in the vertical axis, so that we are calling it as a vertical machining center. Apart from that, of course, the workpiece which is placed on the table can move, can reach the table, can reach the tool by the adjustment along x and along y axis. Then let me move on to discuss the horizontal machining center. In this case, in the previous case, as we have seen that the spindle is located along z-axis in the vertical plane, but whereas in this case, the spindle is also located in the z-axis. Of course, this is in the horizontal plane. So we are naming, even though it is in the horizontal plane, the axis we are calling it as a z. The vertical and horizontal axis is also possible to the table. This you can adjust. This spindle can be adjusted along x-axis and along y-axis. You can observe here. The spindle movements are possible. Of course, the spindle is going to rotate in the horizontal plane along the x-axis. The spindle axis is oriented towards the horizontal. In turn, in this case, we are calling this as, this will become our z-axis, work axis. And the tool movements, the workpiece is going to reach the tool or the spindle by adjusting the movement along x and y axis. This type of machining center you can see here, but this is having flexibility to reach. In the case of previous vertical milling center, the tool is not going to reach the vertical planes of the rectangular block. Example, you consider one rectangular block. In this case, the tool is not at all going to reach the vertical movements and the vertical planes of a block. But whereas this horizontal machining center, the tool can reach the horizontal vertical planes of the block. Vertical planes also you can perform on the vertical planes also you can perform some work. So this is the flexibility of the horizontal machining center. In brief, you can call it as HMC. Then in the case of universal machining center, uh, we should be able to rotate the axis in any of the angle. The tool is flexible to rotate. It can reach any angle. You can twist, you can rotate the spindle. This is the flexibility, so that the tool can reach the maximum positions on the work plane and on the workpiece, in the vertical plane, in the horizontal plane, or else assume that you have an object which is having the inclined plane, so that the tool can also reach the inclined plane to perform the operation. That is the flexibility of the universal machining center. Basically, this is designed to increase the production, in turn reducing the non-productive time. Definitely, all the machining centers are designed to reduce the idle time of the machine. It also reduces the setup time of the component and setup time of the tool changing time. reduces setup time of the component, reduces, in turn it reduces the idle time of the machine. Otherwise we can call that as a utilization of the machine increases. That is what the advantage of the machining centers, to increase the productivity, in turn reducing the idle time of the machine, idle time of the operator, and idle time of the, I mean, setup time of the component, setup time of the tool, in turn reduces the idle time of the machine, which in turn increases the production. In turn, we can reduce the cost of the component. This is what the chain of the production. One is linked, one parameter is linked to other parameter. Finally, the main objective of any of the organization is to reduce the price of the, or it should be able to produce the component good quality, high quality products with the minimum possible cost. That is the objective of any of the organization. So every parameter in the company or the organization, or any manufacturing industry, is linked one to another. So one is linked to another. So gradually we come from the bottom to reduce the cost of the product, which is at the top, cost of the product, which is at the top. So one is linked to another. So these missions are, okay, let me come back to our topic. Universal Machining Center increases the production rate, in turn reducing the non-productive time. So as I said just now, UMC, Universal Machining Center, can swell, I mean the spindle can swell to any angle between the horizontal and vertical planes. So it can reach the any of the angle between horizontal and vertical plane. This is what the advantage of the Universal Machining Center. These machines are used to machine aerofoil shapes, or curvilinear geometries, of course, irregular shapes. These machining centers are basically used to machine the components of aerofoil shapes or curvilinear geometries. Irregular profiles are machined on this machining center. So as, because it is having flexibility, the tool can reach the any of the angle between vertical to horizontal plane. So this is the advantage of the Universal Machining Center. You can see that type of machine in this figure. As you can see, you can, this here the tool can be moved horizontal to in between the horizontal and vertical. It is having a swell plate so that you can rotate the tool in any of the angle between vertical to horizontal. Okay, of course, apart from that, the as and when you locate the workpiece on this table, it is also having the additional movements like horizontal and vertical movement. Even you can adjust the workpiece also to reach the component to the tool which is located in the spindle. In this case, this is the flexibility of the Universal Machining Center. Let me move further. Then we have, when it comes to the, we already discussed that the multiple operations in the construction features, it can be designed to perform the multiple operations and process in a single setup, as I said just now. And this CNC machining centers are also having the multiple access, not only single access. So these machining centers are having multiple access to perform, or to perform more number of operations and more number of objects simultaneously. Each spindle is going to rotate with a definite speed, and so that we can, I mean, we can perform multiple operations. So typically has an automatic mechanism to change the tools. Of course, as I said just now, all the machining centers are having automatic tool changes, automatic mechanism. There is a mechanism to change the tool automatically after completing the operation of that tool. Because one tool is going to one operation, like you take a knurling tool is going to perform only the knurling operation, a reaming tool is going to perform only the reaming operation. So it is specific. So after completing the operation, the tool needs to be changed. So if we change the tool manually, so the idle time of the machine increases during the changing of the tool. The machine is going to be kept idle. So to avoid that, the tool, there is some mechanism which is going to pick up the tool from one location, required tool. Then it is going to automatically set the tool. in the tool post. So this is what happens by using a tool changing mechanism. So that in turn we can call that as a automatic tool changer. We will discuss automatic tool changer in the coming slides. Then you have the uh, machine motion is programmable. Of course, if it is a CNC machine, the NC machine, the movements of the tool is according to the program. So that we fed in the computer, which is coming, the signal is coming from the machine control unit according to the program fed in the computer, and according to in the machine control unit, it is going to be transformed as the signal, understandable signal by the machine tool. Then there are servo motors or the drive feed mechanisms for tool access. Of course, there are driving mechanisms. The CNC machine must have the driving mechanisms as well as the feeding mechanisms, feedback mechanisms. Of course, it is be able to position. I mean, the CNC system must have provision of a feedback system. If we use this feedback system in the last chapters or the previous sessions, we have seen that feedback system is a system. If a machine is having this feedback system or closed loop system, in turn, it is going to take the signal from the, error signal from the table or from the tool, because if there is any variation in the displacement or the location of the tool or the location of the table, that error will be sensed by the sensors at that location. Again, error signal will be generated, and again that error signal will be sent to the machine tool to correct the error in the displacement of the machine tool as well as the spindle or as well as the table. So that is the feedback system. The NC system must have that feedback positioning system. Then it must be able to rotate by the servo motors or more flexible to control. So it must have the feeding mechanism. It must have the driving mechanism of the servo motors. This is the basic construction of the CNC machining centers. It must be able to, the tool must be able to move, or the table must be able to move according to the program. Then it must have the servo motors to feed the mechanism or to move the tool or as well as the table to reach the workpiece to the tool. Then it must be able to take the feedback signal to rectify the errors in the positions of the table as well as the tool. And let me move forward to specify the CNC machining centers. When it comes to the specification, whether the tool is moving, whether the spindle is, work stroke direction, according to this work stroke direction, in which direction we are doing work. Suppose if it is a drilling machine, the axis is located, the spindle is located in the vertical plane. In that case, we are going to perform the work in Y direction. Like if it is a turning machine, we are going to perform the work in Z direction. Like that. So we have in which direction we are performing the work. So X axis, Y axis, or Z axis. So that is the first specification. When it comes to the other specification, the CNC machine can be classified according to the type of working table, whether the table clamping surface uh, uh, is on which you have the clamping mechanisms or not. If it is not having clamping mechanism, might be there is another mechanism. Then workpiece size, up to what extent we can accommodate the workpiece, maybe the diameter, or maybe up to what height you are going to locate the workpiece. This is all counts while specifying the CNC machine. Then the CNC machine is also specified according to the accuracy, up to what extent, how much accuracy we are getting from that machine. That also will be taken into consideration. This is also one criteria to specify CNC machine. Then when it comes to the what type of feed drive you are using, feeding drive you are using, then it may be a AC drive or a DC drive, whether you are using the recirculating ball screw or any of the other device to feeding mechanism or feed the workpiece to reach the tool. So vice versa also possible to what type of mechanism you are using to reach the tool to the work table, vice versa. So whether it can be a recirculating ball screw or normal sliding mechanism, so that all also matters. Then what kind of feedback system you are using? It can be a closed loop or it can be an open loop. As I said just now, feedback system may be a closed loop or open loop. In the case of closed loop, it takes the signal, feedback signal, and according to that error signal, according to the error, one more error signal will be generated, and to correct the movements or the positions of the spindle as well as the table. Of course, it also correct the uh, motion or the speed of the spindle also. Not only the linear displacement, it also considers the speed of the spindle, speed of the workpiece, all that matters. Then when it comes to the other specification of the CNC machine, what type of ATC you are using, whether some of the ATCs are not going to pick up the tool automatically and it is not going to insert the tool automatically into the tool post. So there is some limitation. So automatic tool changer and normal type of tool changer is having some uh, uh, flexibilities. Automatic tool changer is having more flexible than the normal type of tool changer. There are some limitations. Then these CNC machines are also classified according to the control system used and what type of control system you are using. Okay, and all these are the specifications of the CNC machine center. Let me move further to discuss the CNC components or the attachments. So in this we will see, uh, just now I said with you, we are going to discuss the automatic tool changer, how it looks, and we will explain, we will discuss the ATC along with the block diagram, how it is going to work, from which place it is going to pick up the tool, and we will see in detail along with the figure. Then we will see the tool grippers. Grippers are the devices used to hold the workpiece firmly with the specified pressure. Okay. Then uh, we will also try to discuss the tool magazine. Tool magazine is the repository where all the tools are located. That there are different types of tool magazines like drum type, disc type, chain type. All we will discuss along with the figures in this slides, in the coming slides. Then we will mm, see the automatic pallet changer. Pallet changer we will see where all the uh, uh, devices are located. As and when you require, you are going to change that. Okay. Then or the we will see the feedback system, servo motors, recirculating bar screws, if possible in this. Otherwise, we will see in the next class. Okay. Then when it comes to the automatic tool changer, it is used in CNC machine tools, as I said just now, to improve the production, because the ideal time of the CNC machine increases because of changing the tool. Because a component, to manufacture a component, requires the number of operations like the drilling, milling, planing, right? Then grooving, reaming. All this requires to get a complete product. So in between that, tool needs to be changed. Okay, uh, that tool change time is more. So picking up the tool and inserting that tool in the tool post, it requires time. So during that time, CNC machine needs to kept idle. If we are able to reduce this idle time to enhance the production rate, so this idle time can be reduced by using automatic tool changer. The main function of this automatic tool changer is to pick up the tool from the location where all the tools are placed. Of course, in turn, you can call it as a magazine. In the case of CNC machining centers, so one device is used where all the tools are located. That is called the tool magazine. Tool magazine is a device in which all the tools are located with a specified address. So when you instruct something to the ATC, ATC is going to reach the location of the tool with a specified location of the tool, and from there this ATC is going to pick up the tool, and after reaching to the location, I mean inserting position of the tool to perform the work, it inserts the tool, and again the ATC will come back and reach to the original position or the parking position. This is what going to happen in the case of automatic tool changer. So in turn, without the manual intervention, without the intervention of the human, ATC, automatic tool changer, is going to pick up the tool. Then it will reach the location, exact location of the tool. When we specify the location of the tool in the program itself, ATC will go there, pick up the tool, then insert the tool to the required location. Then it will go back and it also puts the old tool which is already in the tool post, and that will be placed in the exact location or the address of that tool, previous tool, which is already in the tool post. So this is what the exactly working principle of the automatic tool changer. Then automatic tool changes, ATC changes the tools very quickly, reducing the non-productive time, as I said just now. Then generally it is used to improve the capacity of the machine, work with several tools, of course. Then change it. This ATC is also used to change the worn out or broken tools. Okay. It also, along with the productive work. So during the actual operation, it is obvious that we need to change the tools. But whereas suddenly if there is any tool which is worn out during the operation, it also changes the tool, changes the worn out tool and broken tools. If there is any damage, tools may also break. So to those type of tools, broken tools or the worn out tools can also be changed by using the automatic tool changer. So we will see how it looks in this figure. This automatic tool changer looks like this. As you can see, this is free to rotate along the pivot here. So it is having the two pickup and as well as pickup levers here. You have a exact shape here to pick up the tool, and this is actually this ATC, this automatic tool changer is free to rotate along a pivot. So now you can see, due to its design, as you can observe in this figure, so it is free to rotate along the 360 degrees angle, so that, and also this ATC is also having provision to move along X and Y axis also. Okay. Then along with that, this ATC, the moment you want to change the tool from the tool post, so this ATC will come in front of the tool magazine or the device where all the tools are kept like this. So exactly at this location, this tool, this ATC will rotate. The tool which is at this location will be picked by the ATC while rotating this ATC. This is actually the a spindle. This is actually the spindle where the tool magazine is attached. Okay. Then this ATC is going to pick up the required tool from this magazine, and it is going to, after picking up the tool, this ATC is going to insert the tool in the spindle, cutting tool from the machine tool. Initially, this location, and this is going to pick up the tool from the spindle, and this will be inserted at this location, and simultaneously this magazine will be rotated, or this magazine tool, the required tool, will be going to come near to the ATC pickup point, and this ATC will pick up the required tool from this magazine by, and before this we are inserted the old tool. This the function of this ATC is to pick up the old tool and inserting that old tool into the magazine at the desired location, specified location, then picking up the new required tool from the tool magazine. Then after picking up, that tool needs to be inserted in the tool post where actually we are performing the work. So this will insert, and after inserting the new tool into the tool post, or where actually we require the tool, where actually we are performing the work, after inserting the tool, again this tool ATC will go back and to the parking location. I repeat this once again. The function of this ATC is going to pick up the tool from the machine spindle where actually we are performing, and after picking up the tool, that will be placed in the tool magazine at the address of that tool. And simultaneously, after keeping the old tool in this tool magazine, the new tool will be picked by the ATC from this tool magazine, required tool from the magazine. Then that new tool that we are going to use for the operations, that tool will be located in the machine spindle or the tool post where we are going to perform the work. And after changing the tool, after picking up the old tool and inserting the new tool at the desired locations, again this ATC will come back and park at the parked location. This is what the exactly working principle of the automatic tool changer. Then let me move forward to discuss the tool grippers. Okay, the tool gripper is, as I said just now, tool gripper is a device to hold different tools firmly. Firmly means with the required pressure while changing the tools. Of course, we are changing the tool. While changing the tool, basically this tool gripper is used in the robots. We can also use the robots to pick up the tools. Okay, this tool gripper is used to hold different tools firmly. Firmly means with the required pressure while changing or while moving the devices. Not only the tools. Tool gripper is also used to hold tools and as well as the devices, whatever you want, firmly. Firmly means with the required pressure. You can suppose if you want to move a device from one location to another location. So in that case, tool gripper is going to hold one device and it is going to be placed in the required position. So in between that, that device needs to be held firmly, okay, without any damage. Suddenly, if that may fall, if there is any, if you don't hold that part firmly with the required pressure, that may fall on the ground or that may fall on the human beings. So this is a huge damage. So huge damage can occur if the huge weight item, more weight items can fall on the human beings or on the delicate items or any of the mission. So it is a big loss to the firm. So to avoid that, the devices or the parts or the items to be moved from one location to another location, the items to be moved from one location to another location, let me give us some time and so let me give some time and I'll pick this here and there is some disturbances occurring. So let me go back here and tool gripper is used to hold the items, parts or the tools firmly with the required pressure. So in the case of heavy duty grippers or light duty grippers, there are different types of grippers which are available in the market. If you want to hold the small size objects, in that case we use the lightweight or light duty grippers, so which are used to hold the lightweight components. Whereas if you want to hold the more heavyweight objects or the parts or the heavyweight tools where you want to grip firmly, in that case we are going to use the heavy duty grippers, so which are ideal for heavier tools or the heavier parts for gripping the or moving the desired location. By gripping the parts or the devices, we are going to move. So whatever you want, even while machining also, sometimes if you want to use a gripper, we can use. Okay, so not only for the moving, grippers are not only for moving the tools, which are also used to hold the tools or hold the workpiece some extent if you want, right? Then for locking grippers are also available and which are ideal for applications such as requiring an extra degree of security. So in some cases, if you hold also, if you don't lock those gripping area, so there is some variation in gripping. pressure or the force. So anything can happen. Okay, so to apply the constant pressure to hold the objects, so there is some locking system for the tool grippers. We can also use the locking grippers, so which are ideal to apply extra degree of security. Okay, this is the tool gripper. So this type of gripper you can see uh, in this figure. It looks like this. It is a tool gripper, and at this location you have two finger like appearance. This is used to hold small size objects. Okay, then let me come back to the other content we are discussed. As of now we have discussed the tool gripper, and then let me move forward to discuss the magazine. Okay, uh, basically the machining centers, as I said with you, the machining centers are used to perform the multi operations in a single setup, like drilling, milling, boring, or any of the operation. The machining center must be able to perform multiple operations. A machining center which is able to perform multiple operations, in that case we are going to call that machine as a machining center. Of course, that can be use a punched card, that can be used a program, that can be used a dedicated computer, that can be used a central computer, or in between that you can use a mini computer or a satellite computer. In all the cases, any of the machine which is able to perform the multiple operations in single setup, you can call that machine as a machining center. But this is possible, multiple operations can be performed only on the CNC machine, ANSI machine, or the DNC machine. This is obvious. So we are improving the features of the machines, ANSI to CNC, CNC to DNC, like that. And to improve the production time, to improve the utilization of the machine, or to reduce the idle time of the machine, we are designed some attachments to the machine to reduce the idle time of the machine, like the automatic tool changer, as I said just now. Then you have a tool gripper. Then we have the magazine. Just now I said with you, magazine is a platform where all the tools are kept at the specified location. Our magazine is a repository, or a device, or a repository where all the tools are kept with a specified address. As and when we want to change the tool, in that case, the ATC is going to move to the tool magazine to the desired location where all the tools are addressed with a specified location, at the specified location. From that location, the ATC is going to pick up the tool, means location means it is a magazine. So tool, and that tool will be located in the spindle or in the tool post to perform the work. This is what happens. So if the magazine is not there, if every tool is not having specified address, the ATC needs to move, and ATC needs to identify with the address of the tool itself. So to give the address of the tool, we require some specified location or the specified address. So the moment you locate, or to locate the, or to create the address of the tool with respect to the magazine. Okay, in the magazine we are going to keep the tools at the specified address. So at that address, ATC is going to move, and from that location, according to the program instructions, then ATC will pick up the tool. Then the tool will be inserted in the tool post or the spindle. Again, the old tool will be located or placed in the previous, or the address of the tool, same address of the tool. Old tool will be located using the ATC, and the new tool will be picked from the magazine. So this is what happens. This magazine is going to work in conjunction with the ATC. Okay, both are worked together. Then tool changing operation is a time consumer. As I said just now, it reduces the machine utilization, hence the tool should be automatically changed to reduce the idle time. As I said just now, this helps the workpiece to be machined in one setup. Tool magazines are going to help us to workpiece or complete the work in one setup, uh, which is going to work along with the ATC. In turn, increases the machine utilization and the productivity. Then let me move further to discuss the few types of tool magazines. In this case, tool turret. This is one type of tool magazine, turret type. This is very simple type. It is free to rotate along an axis. It can hold 6 to 12 tools at a time. Permanently, the tools are located on the turret faces of this turret. If it is having 12 faces, 12 to it can hold 12 tools. If it is having 6 faces turret, it can hold 6 faces. 6 to 12 it can hold. So that this is very simple in its use. After completing one operation, the turret will be moved to the required location to engage the required tool with the workpiece. Then we will perform the work. Again, this will be repeated to operate or to produce or to perform more operations, more than one operations on the component. Then when it comes to the drum type of magazine, of course, this is having more flexible, which can hold more number of tools than the tool turret. As you can see, it can hold nearly, I tell with you, it can hold nearly 12 to 50 tools. 12 to 50 tools. So it is more flexible to store more number of tools. So it is a drum type or magazine, drum type magazine, or circular or disc type magazine in turn you can call. It is going to hold more tools than the turret tool. Then when it comes to the chain type of magazine is going to hold more number of tools than the drum type. Drum type can hold around 50 tools, but whereas chain type of magazine is having some driving mechanism, in which case on the chain each tool is located on the specified address. So this chain is going to move to the ATC. From this ATC is going to pick up the tool, and in turn that ATC is going to locate the tool or fix the tool in the tool post or the spindle to perform the work. But when you compare with the drum type or the turret type, it is going to hold more tools. uh, Around above 100 it can hold. This is what the flexibility of the chain type. And then you have the other type of magazine that you can see here. This is a rack type of magazine. It is just like all the racks are, you can observe here. So located, and each rack one tool is located. A robotic arm with gripper is going to reach the racks and pick up the tool. In this case, robotic arm is going to pick up the tool, and which will be placed in the desired location, at the desired location. This is what the rack type of magazine. Basically, this magazine can also be used to store the small size components also along with the tools. Even you can keep the tools in this magazine. In turn, you can also keep the small size components according to the space availability, according to the size of the rack. You can keep the components. You can give an address wherever you want. I mean, whenever you want, you can pick up the components also from this location. So this is having the multiple edge. Even you can store the tools as well as the components according to the size of the rack. So these are the different types of magazines frequently used in along with the CNC machining center. Then let me move forward to discuss the automatic pallet changer. So a pallet is a movable interchangeable part of a machine tool, so which helps to transport raw materials or finished parts from machine to reduce the downtime of the part loading or unloading time. Example you can observe here. So pallet changer, rotary type pallet changer, you have a rotary table type appearance here on which we are going to place the workpieces. Okay, so rotary type of table on which you have the pallet and on which we are going to locate the workpiece. So during the moment the machine is performing some work, the operator can load the workpieces on this pallet, and after completing the component, after completing all the operations of the component, so we need to engage one more workpiece with the spindle. So in that case, so during the idle time, the operator is going to load the workpieces on these pallets. Basically, pallets means carriers. So where all the workpieces or any goods can be located to move. Pallet is a tray type appearance in which we are going to locate to move. Okay, so where all in this case, basically in this case, in the case of CNC machining centers, pallets are the devices. So where workpieces are placed to engage after completing the components or after changing the component from the spindle or from the vise to engage the new component or the new workpiece or new raw material to perform the work. So those workpieces are placed on the pallets, and after completing, and it will be rotated and new workpiece will be engaged with the tool. So like this, it saves time. Instead of changing the two workpiece and fixing the new workpiece and again engaging that workpiece with the tool, during the machining time itself, the operator can fix or load the workpiece, raw workpiece on this pallet. After completing the workpiece on at the work zone, the raw workpiece will be engaged with the spindle. So this is what the use of the automatic pallet changer. These are also used, and in turn, this automatic pallet changer also increases the uh, reduces the idle time of the machine and increases the machine utilization. Then when it comes to the care and maintenance of the CNC machine, we need to care something because it is a high cost machine. We should be very, very careful while working on that. We need to protect we need to maintain the CNC machine properly, otherwise damage can occur. So uh, first, let us see the precautions while working on the CNC. We need to protect our eyes wearing safety gloves. We need to wear the shoes with oil resistant shoes. Then we have to, if we have long hair, in that case, we need to tie up with a band to keep that long hair backside. Then we should not wear the long sleeves, loose clothing, or neckties. So this is also leads to accident. Then make sure that your area is free from the chips. Okay, always the work area and work zone should be clean. It should not have any chips, and there should not be any oil or the coolant spills, air hoses, and anything on the floor. This also leads to the accidents. We should make sure that these are the precautions we need to take care. And along with that, cutting tools and work holding equipments are tight before running the spindle. Okay, before running the spindle, we should make sure that work must be properly fixed in the vise or not. That we should make sure. Then maintenance and repair work should be properly done, or as per the schedule. Maintenance and repair work should be done. Okay, then if any work requires power on, extreme care should be taken. While switching on the power, we should make sure whether the workpiece is firmly fixed in the vise, then whether the tool is fixed firmly in the location. Like this type of, whenever we are switching on, we must be very, very careful. Keep the machine always clean and keep away from the tools and gauges from getting damaged. Always we need to keep the tools and gauges away from the machine. Then when it comes to these are the precaution. Then when it comes to the maintenance activities of the CNC machine, move the sides to reference points and reference point return mode. Then uh, back and forth and check the sliding movement. Then check the centralized lubrication system manually by pressing the application switches, and coolant supply by pressing the application switches. So regularly we need to check the lubrication system. Then we need to check the coolant system. So whether the coolant is present in the coolant tank or not, or the enough coolant in the tank or not, whether the lubricant is enough in the tank or not. All we need to check. This is the regular maintenance. This comes under maintenance. Then check the selectable zero offset entries. Then whether you need to ensure whether it is a machine zero or a floating zero. Offset entries, up to what extent after cutting the component, up to what extent the tool needs to move. And we should make sure that there should not be any obstacle in the over travel as well as in the approach. So all these we need to take care. So the main pressure of the hydraulic and pneumatic system we need to check regularly. Then clamping pressure of the hydraulic and pneumatic system as well as the fixtures we need to check. Then the uh, check the functionality of the chook, where it can be used for holding the workpiece. Or sometimes the chooks can also be used to hold the tools. So we need to check the pressure or the functionality, whether the chooks are functioning properly or not. And we need to check the pressure in the case of pneumatic and hydraulic systems, of the clamping systems. All these we need to take care, and lubricate the clamping device if necessary manually. That also we need to take care. But in the next session, so we will close here now, then in the next session we will see the spindle drives, feed drives, servo drives, stepper motors. We will see the slideways, recirculating bar screw. These are all the attachments, are the devices which are used to increase the productivity, reduce the idle time of the machines. Then we will also see the feedback devices and encoders. uh, all these we will try to cover in the next session. Let me go back what we have discussed as of now. We have discussed care and maintenance, then we have discussed precautions, what we need to take on the CNC machine. Then we have discussed the automatic pallet changer. We have seen rotary type. Then we have seen the different types of magazines. We have seen the tool turret, then drum type of magazine. Then we have seen the chain type, rack type. We have seen. Then we are also discussed the gripper. We have discussed what exactly the function of the gripper. We are also discussed in detail about the functionality of the automatic tool changer. And when you use automatic tool changer, what happens actually with respect to the production, that also we are discussed. Then these are all the attachments we tried to discuss, but as of now we have discussed the automatic pallet changer. But these feedback devices, servo motor and recirculating bar screws, we will discuss in the next class, as I said just now. Then we are also discussed the specification of the CNC machining center. Then we have discussed the construction features of the CNC machine. We are also discussed the uh, types of machining centers, maybe horizontal, vertical, or universal, according to the orientation of the spindle. So all these we are discussed in this session. Thank you one and all for this session. We will see in the next session what we are listed in the slides, our last slide.